In the heart of Los Angeles, 1954, the city stood on edge, shrouded in an oppressive tension that hung heavy in the smog-filled air. The sun, a faint orange orb, dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows over streets lined with towering skyscrapers and modest homes alike. This city was a microcosm of America's dreams and nightmares, where prosperity and poverty coexisted, often indistinguishable from one another. The streets were alive with the hum of traffic and the chatter of voices. Yet beneath this veneer of normalcy lurked a more sinister presence, an elusive figure known only as John Doe. He was the city's bogeyman, the faceless specter that haunted its citizens at night. His notorious robbery gang preyed on the innocent, leaving fear in their wake and draining the lifeblood of the city one heist at a time. In the dimly lit confines of a small apartment nestled between these towering structures stood Emily Johnson, a 28-year-old single mother of two. Her weary eyes bore witness to the harsh realities of life as she struggled to make ends meet for her family. Yet, despite her meager means, Emily's spirit was indomitable, her resilience and determination an inspiration to all who knew her. As darkness descended upon the city, so too did the specter of John Doe. His gang, a cunning and ruthless band of thieves, struck without warning or remorse. They left behind only destruction and sorrow, but most damningly, they had taken Emily from her children. The city's residents huddled in their homes, the flickering glow of their televisions casting an eerie pallor over the streets below. In the depths of this urban jungle, a single voice stood as a beacon of hope, that of Detective Jack Thompson. He was a veteran of the LAPD, a man with sharp eyes and a tenacious spirit who had dedicated his life to upholding the law. The memory of past failures haunted him like a shadow, yet he refused to let it deter him from his mission. For Emily's sake, for the sake of all those whose lives had been disrupted by John Doe and his gang, Detective Thompson was willing to risk everything. He would delve deep into the tangled web that connected the city's dark corners with the shadows that lurked beneath, determined to bring the robbery gang to justice. As the city slept, unaware of the danger that lurked among them, Detective Thompson prepared for his pursuit, a journey that would take him through treacherous terrain and force him to confront the darkness within the heart of Los Angeles. The fate of the city hung in the balance, as does the future of Emily's children and countless others whose lives had been shattered by this enigmatic figure known only as John Doe. In the heart of Los Angeles' sprawling metropolis, where the sun-kissed beaches and bustling streets conceal the darkness simmering beneath, resided Detective Jack Thompson. A seasoned LAPD officer, his tenacity was legendary. An unparalleled knack for solving complex crimes had earned him respect among his peers. Yet, beneath that veneer of steadfastness, there lurked a shadow of his past failures, a specter that haunted him relentlessly. The city's underbelly, a labyrinth of vice and crime, was his battleground, a place where the rules of society were bent to suit the whims of those who wielded power, and where corruption festered like an open wound. Amid this cesspool of deceit, John Doe and his elusive gang had taken root, feeding off the fear and vulnerability of its citizens. Detective Thompson's office, a small sanctuary amidst the chaos, was adorned with mementos of past victories, photographs, news clippings, trinkets, all silent testaments to his unwavering pursuit of justice. Yet, the memory of Emily Johnson, a single mother whose life had been shattered by the gang's cruel hand, haunted him like an echo in the night. As the city slumbered, Thompson remained awake, poring over case files and interrogating suspects with a relentless determination. The clock ticked louder in his ears, as if urging him to act, to bring closure to Emily's family and deliver retribution to the city. The web of connections that lay ahead was complex, tangled, and fraught with danger. Already, whispers of a looming underworld war filled the shadows, hinting at rival factions jockeying for power amidst the chaos. And yet, in the back of his mind, Thompson could not shake the feeling that this investigation ran far deeper than mere organized crime, that powerful forces within the city's corridors of power sought to keep John Doe and his gang hidden from view. As dawn broke over the city, Detective Jack Thompson stood resolute, casting a long shadow across the concrete jungle that was Los Angeles. The hunt for justice had begun anew, and he would not rest until every lead was exhausted and every clue unraveled, no matter the cost to himself or his soul. For this beacon of hope in the city's darkest hour was determined to shine its light into the darkest corners, bringing to light the truth that the citizens so desperately sought. In the somber halls of justice, Detective Jack Thompson sat hunched over a dimly lit table, sifting through mountains of evidence that hinted at the intricate web of corruption and organized crime that had ensnared his city. His eyes, weary yet focused, scanned lines of text, names, dates, and places, fragments of a tale that remained incomplete, a puzzle waiting to be solved. The shadows of Los Angeles stretched long and dark as the sun dipped below the horizon. The city's underworld pulsed with the rhythm of fear and uncertainty, as whispers of an impending war echoed through the murky alleys and hidden enclaves. The lines between power and malice blurred as rival factions clashed, their alliances shifting like sand in a tempestuous wind. Thompson's gaze flickered to the city maps spread before him, a living tapestry of connections that spanned from the glittering heights of wealth to the grimy depths of poverty. Each line represented a thread in the labyrinthine network of organized crime families, corrupt politicians, and secretive figures lurking in the shadows. The detective's mind raced with possibilities as each piece of evidence unveiled another layer of this tangled web. He knew that the mastermind behind the robbery gang was clever, cunning enough to evade capture for so long, elusive as a ghost in the night. But Thompson was determined to pierce through this veil of darkness and bring the truth to light. As he delved deeper into his investigation, the tension within him grew palpable, an electric charge that coursed through his veins, fueling his relentless pursuit. The fate of countless innocent lives hung in the balance, and Thompson vowed that he would not rest until justice had been served. The city's streets took on a sinister tone as night fell, shrouded by an oppressive blanket of smoke and mist. The shadows seemed to close in around him, pressing down like the weight of 1,000 unsolved crimes. Yet, amidst this darkness, Thompson found solace in his resolve, a beacon of hope that would guide him through the treacherous waters ahead. As he continued his tireless quest, Thompson uncovered secrets that shook the very foundations of Los Angeles. Powerful figures were revealed to have ties to John Doe and his gang, their hands stained with the blood of innocent victims. The city's underbelly writhed in turmoil as rival factions clashed, fueled by greed, ambition, and an unquenchable thirst for power. Yet, amidst this chaos, a single voice rose above the din, that of Detective Jack Thompson, a symbol of hope and justice in a city teetering on the brink of destruction. The fate of Los Angeles hung precariously in the balance, and only one man stood between it and anarchy, a tenacious officer with unyielding determination and an unwavering commitment to truth. The journey was fraught with peril, but Thompson would not be deterred. He knew that the battle ahead would be fierce, and the stakes higher than ever before. But as he stood in the dimly lit halls of justice, a fire burned within him, a fire born of courage, resilience, and an unyielding pursuit of justice. And so, the clock ticked down on the city's darkest hour, as Detective Jack Thompson raced against time to bring John Doe and his gang to justice. The specter of their reign of terror loomed large, casting a pall over the streets of Los Angeles. But amidst this gloom, there was hope, the hope that, in the end, justice would prevail. In the heart of Los Angeles, the city's unease intensified as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long, ominous shadows over its streets. Detective Jack Thompson, an indomitable figure in a sea of tension, navigated the labyrinthine alleys that crisscrossed the city, his eyes scanning every corner for signs of his quarry. As he delved deeper into the city's underbelly, the atmosphere grew denser, charged with an electric energy that seemed to crackle in the air. The whispers of an impending war echoed in the shadows, a palpable reminder of the dangerous alliances that bound the criminal underworld together. Thompson's every step felt weighted with purpose, as if each footfall propelled him closer to the truth. His mind raced, calculating strategies and possible outcomes, as he grappled with the knowledge that the city teetered on the brink of anarchy. With each turn, the streets grew darker, the buildings taller, the air thicker. The city seemed to hold its breath, waiting for the next explosion of violence or the unmasking of a hidden enemy. Thompson's resolve hardened with every passing moment, fueled by his determination to protect the citizens who looked to him as their beacon of hope. Suddenly, a flicker of movement caught his eye. A figure emerged from the shadows, its silhouette familiar yet elusive. As Thompson moved closer, his heart pounded in his chest, adrenaline coursing through his veins like liquid fire. The figure did not flee but stood defiantly, as if daring Thompson to come any closer. In that moment, the city seemed to hold its breath once more, the tension thick enough to slice with a knife. The stakes had never been higher, the risks greater. But Detective Jack Thompson would not falter. He was the last line of defense between the city and chaos, and he would stand firm until justice prevailed. As the figure began to move, so too did the city. Its pulse quickened, its breath shallow, as it awaited the outcome of this climactic confrontation. Would Thompson succeed in apprehending John Doe and his gang, or would the specter of darkness consume them all? The fate of Los Angeles hung precariously in the balance, and only one man stood between it and the abyss. In the waning hours of a sultry Los Angeles evening, the city's streets were shrouded in an eerie stillness, broken only by the distant sounds of police sirens and the whispers of nervous citizens huddled behind closed doors. The air was heavy with tension as Detective Jack Thompson, a lone figure cloaked in shadows, stood at the precipice of an unyielding confrontation. A clandestine location, dimly lit by the occasional flicker of streetlights filtering through cracks in the wall, served as the stage for this showdown between good and evil. The air was charged with electricity, a palpable sense of foreboding hanging heavy upon the stale, humid atmosphere. The mastermind, John Doe, emerged from the darkness, flanked by his henchmen, a menacing posse who had terrorized the city for far too long. Their eyes gleamed with malice as they surveyed their adversary, Detective Thompson. With resolve etched into every line of his battle-hardened face, he stood tall, an indomitable pillar of justice in this den of iniquity. As the two factions faced off, a chilling silence descended upon the room. The air crackled with anticipation, as if time itself held its breath in expectation of what was to come. Each side waited for the other to make the first move, the tension threatening to snap like a taut wire at any moment. Then it happened. With cat-like precision, Detective Thompson lunged forward, his fists flying in a flurry of punishing blows that sent John Doe's henchmen sprawling. The criminals roared with rage, their eyes wild and filled with hatred as they retaliated, the air filling with the cacophony of fists connecting with flesh and the thunderous crash of furniture being overturned. Detective Thompson, undeterred by the relentless onslaught, stood his ground, parrying each blow with the skill and precision honed through years of combat. The struggle was brutal, a testament to the determination and resilience that had driven him throughout his career. Yet, even as the fight raged on, a deeper battle waged within Thompson's heart, a battle against the ghosts of past failures and the weight of responsibility he carried for the city he swore to protect. As the conflict reached its zenith, the true extent of John Doe's criminal empire was laid bare. The underworld connections he had painstakingly cultivated over the years were exposed, a tangled web that ensnared organized crime families, corrupt politicians, and the very heart of Los Angeles itself. The city's fate hung in the balance as Detective Thompson stood at the precipice of victory, his courage and determination finally outmatching the cunning of his adversary. In the midst of the chaos, a lone voice rang out, a cry for help that pierced through the din of fists and curses. It was Emily Johnson, the single mother whose life had been turned upside down by the actions of this criminal syndicate. With renewed determination, Detective Thompson fought on, fueled by the desperate pleas for salvation that echoed from the depths of the shadows. The final blow came swiftly and decisively, landing with a thunderous crash as Detective Thompson sent John Doe reeling to the ground. The criminals surrounding them crumpled beneath the weight of their own defeat, their dreams of power and control shattered forever. In that moment, the city of Los Angeles breathed a collective sigh of relief, a testament to the unyielding spirit of justice that had triumphed once more. Detective Jack Thompson, battered but unbroken, stood tall in the ruins of his victory, his eyes filled with a quiet satisfaction as he looked upon the fallen foe before him. The battle was over, But the pursuit of justice would never cease, a fact that Detective Thompson knew all too well as he turned to face the city that he had sworn to protect. For in Los Angeles, darkness still lurked within the heart, waiting for its next opportunity to strike. But with Detective Jack Thompson on the case, there was hope, a beacon of light shining through the shadows, guiding the city toward a brighter future. In the somber aftermath of John Doe's evasion, the city of Los Angeles, once an epitome of American vitality, lay subdued, a testament to the shadows that had briefly enveloped it. The streets echoed with an eerie silence, as if the very air itself held its breath in anticipation. Detective Jack Thompson, his countenance etched with exhaustion and resilience, stood amidst the desolation, surveying a landscape forever altered by the specter of Doe. His eyes, though weary, gleamed with unyielding determination, a beacon of hope in the city's hour of darkness. The LAPD had managed to apprehend several members of John Doe's gang, yet the mastermind remained elusive, slipping into the labyrinthine shadows as deftly as he had emerged. The manhunt for this enigmatic figure was a testament to his cunning and indomitable spirit, a ghost story etched in the annals of Los Angeles' criminal lore. The city breathed a collective sigh of relief as order was restored, yet beneath the veneer of calm, tensions simmered. The fragile alliance between organized crime families, crooked politicians, and sinister figures had been exposed, leaving the city's foundations trembling. In this crucible of truth, Detective Thompson emerged as a symbol of hope, a beacon of justice in a city grappling with its darkest secrets. His unwavering commitment to upholding the law had illuminated the path towards righteousness, serving as a reminder that the pursuit of justice is an indomitable spirit, an eternal journey demanding courage, resilience, and unyielding conviction. As Thompson gazed upon his city, he knew that the battle for truth and justice was far from over. The ghosts of John Doe and his gang may have vanished into the shadows once more, but their legacy would linger, a haunting reminder of the darkness that lurks within the heart of even the most vibrant cities. And so, as Los Angeles moved forward, healing its wounds and rebuilding itself, Detective Jack Thompson stood resolute, a sentinel on the edge of the abyss, vowing to protect his city from the forces of darkness that sought to claim it. The spirit of justice, though battered and weary, endured, a testament to the indomitable human will, the unwavering commitment to truth, and the never-ending journey that is the pursuit of justice.